to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercap today and be happy. Bye.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected.
Hello and welcome to the broadcast of news at 9 p.m. on Sun TV, the pulse of the nation. You can also follow us on Facebook at Sun TV and on YouTube at Sun TV Live. Now the major headlines. Tinubu declares state of emergency in Rivers, suspends Governor Fubara, lawmakers.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College.
Sorry for the technical issue. Tinubu declares state of emergency in Rivers State, suspends governor and lawmakers. Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi has joined TikTok, urging supporters to follow his official accounts. ECOWAS warns of a looming food crisis that could affect 47 million people in West Africa between June and August 2025 if urgent action is not taken. International news. Rwanda has cut diplomatic ties with Belgium, ordering all Belgian diplomats to leave within 48 hours. Business news. Nigerian oil sector faces setback as 12 March loading crude cargoes remains unsold due to weak export demand. Sport news. The Anambra State chapter of SWAN, in partnership with the State Police Command, is set to organize sports. Sport that involves marketing key stakeholders across the state. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has declared a state of emergency in Rivers State due to a prolonged political crisis in a nationwide broadcast on March 18, 2025. He announced the suspension of Governor Similayi Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Ndu, and all members of the Rivers State House of Assembly for 6 months. Citing Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, Tinubu stated that the crisis has hindered governance and necessitated urgent intervention. He referenced the demolition of the Assembly building in December 2023 and lack of functional legislature as key issues. The declaration aimed to restore order and ensure effective governance in the states.
We have come to regarding the political crisis in Rivers State. Like many of you, I have watched with concern the development, with hope that the parties involved will allow good sense to prevail at the soonest. But all that hope borne out without any solution to the crisis. With the crisis persisting, there's no way democratic governance, which we all fought and worked for over the years, can thrive in a way that will redound to the benefit of the good people of the state. The state has been at a standstill since the crisis started, with the good people of the state not being able to have access to the dividend of democracy. Also, it is public knowledge that the governor of Rivers State, for unjustifiable reasons, demolished the House of Assembly of the state as far back as 13th December 2023, and as up to now, 14 months after, now rebuild the same. I have made personal interventions between the contending parties for a peaceful resolution of this crisis, but my efforts have been largely ignored by the parties to the crisis. I'm also aware that many well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of thought, and patriotic groups have also intervened at various times with the best of intentions to resolve the matter, but all their efforts were also to no avail. Still, I thank them. On February 28, 2025, the Supreme Court, in a judgment in respect to all about 8 consolidated appeals concerning the political crisis in Rivers State, based on several grave unconstitutional acts and disregard of the rule of law that has been committed by the governor of Rivers State, as shown by the evidence before it, pronounced in very clear terms. And I quote, "A government cannot be said to exist without one of the 3 arms that make up of the government of a state under the 1999 Constitution as amended. In this case, the head of the executive arm of the government has chosen to collapse the legislature to enable him to govern without the legislature as a despot. As it is, there is no government in Rivers State," and I quote. The above pronouncement came after a catalogue of judicial findings of constitutional breaches against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Going forward in their judgment, and having found and held that 27 members of the House who had allegedly deflected, and I quote, "are still valid members of Rivers State House of Assembly and cannot be prevented from participating in proceedings of that House by the 8th respondent, that is the governor, in cohort with 4 members," and unquote. The Supreme Court then made some orders to restore the state to immediate constitutional democracy. These orders include the immediate passing of an appropriation bill by the Rivers State House of Assembly, which up to now has not been facilitated. Some militants had threatened fire and brimstone against their perceived enemies of the governor, who has up to now not disowned them. Apart from that, both the House and the governor have not been able to work together. Both of them do not realize that they are in office to work together for the peace and good governance of the state. The latest security report made available to me show that between yesterday and today, there have been disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without governor taking any action to curtail them. I have, of course, given stand order to the security agencies to ensure safety of lives of good people of Rivers State and the oil pipelines. With all this and many more, no good and responsible president will stand by and allow the grave situation to continue without taking remedial steps prescribed by the Constitution to address the situation in the state, which no doubt requires extraordinary measures to restore good governance, peace, order, and security. In these circumstances, having soberly reflected on and evaluated the political situation in Rivers State, and the governor
the federal government is set to implement stricter regulations on animal imports by establishing control posts at key borders points to monitor livestock movement. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Maiha, disclosed this on Tuesday while receiving a delegation from the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service in Abuja. Maiha emphasized that the initiative aims to protect public health and the livestock industry, stating that animals without proper health certification will be detained. He also raised concern over the declining donkey populations, warning against unauthorized exports of donkey skin. Highlighting border-controlled lapses, the minister revealed that 60% of cattle entering Nigeria came from neighboring countries. And they came from the neighboring countries unchecked, contributing disease outbreaks such as anthrax. To cope this, the government plans to deploy veterinary doctors, security agents, and NAGQS officials to mount the new control posts addressing the rising cost of meat. Maiha attributed it to illegal fees imposed on livestock transporters, citing a government survey that identified over 700 extortion checkpoints along key roads. Efforts are on the way to remove these barriers. Controller General Dr. Vincent Isegbe reaffirms the agency commitment to preventing animal diseases. On regulated imports, he emphasized ongoing international collaborations and called for stronger ties with the Ministry of Livestock Development to enhance regulatory oversight. The newly inaugurated chairman of the board of the Specialist Hospital Jalingo, Dr. Aji Saleh, has pledged to enhance healthcare services in the facility during familiarization visits. He assessed key areas for improvement in line with the governor of the state directive to strengthen the state health sector. Some TV correspondent files in the report.
Greater Chairman of the Board of Specialist Hospital Jalingo, Dr. Aji Saleh, led a familiarization visit to the hospital this morning to assess its current condition and identify key areas for improvement. The visit aligns with the directive of His Excellency, Dr. Abu Kefas, the Executive Governor of Taraba State, to strengthen healthcare services in the state. During the visit, Dr. Saleh highlighted the urgent need for intervention in the hospital to ensure that residents receive high-quality medical care without seeking treatment outside the state. He reaffirmed the board's commitment to revitalizing the facility and improving healthcare delivery. Expressing gratitude to Governor Abu Kefas for the trust placed in him and his team, Dr. Saleh commended the governor's dedication to the health sector, noting that his administration's vision will significantly enhance medical services in Taraba.
In his cabinet and even my members, we were in the hospital this morning on the familiarization tour of the hospital to see things for ourselves, so that we use it as a springing board to use in seeing to improve everything about the hospital, because that means we shall be able to help the people by the time we are on board, because it is of what we see now that we work on to improve the hospital. The hospital is in the shape that needs improvement. There are so many things that we need to put in place to be able to improve it and work effectively with our management team there, so that the people of Taraba will have the benefit of the hospital that is being built for them by the government.
In a significant move to promote decency and curb social vice among the youth, the Taraba Youth Roundtable has unveiled a large billboard at the entrance of the Taraba State Polytechnic. The billboard, which calls for the promotion of good conduct, specifically encourages students to shun all unwanted characters on campus and reminds them that the way you are addressed is how you will be addressed. The billboard also highlights the dangers of social vice such as drug abuse, cultism, exam malpractice, prostitution, and sex for mark, urging the youth to steer clear of these detrimental behaviors. The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor, Honorable Emma George, who presented the state's government at the event, expressed the government's continued support for initiatives that enhance the welfare and development of Taraba youth. He emphasized that the project was of great significance to the state's government, acknowledging Governor Agbo Kefers for his efforts in introducing free education in the state, which has brought smiles to the faces of many Tarabans. Honorable George reiterated the government's commitment to fostering a conducive learning environment, citing the recent 50% reduction in tuition fees for students in tertiary institutions. He further urged all students to refrain from engaging in negative practices such as exam malpractice, drug abuse, and cultism. Ambassador Dasimbe S. Bala Donga, the convener of the Taraba Youth Roundtable, highlighted that this initiative is part of the group's broader community development agenda. He stressed that this was just the beginning and that the group aims to extend its outreach to other institutions in the tenure. Based on the needs and opportunity, Donga also affirmed that the youth constituency, by the grace of God, will continue to support the governor's positive youth-oriented politics and work in partnership with the state government for the progress of Taraba. The project serves as a reminder that good behavior and decency are values the youth must uphold to contribute positively to society. The billboard is expected to serve as a long-term tool for encouraging moral behaviors among students and fostering a better academic environment in Taraba State. In the heart of Gombe City, where the market thrives with the sales of fresh tomatoes, pepper, and onions, women play a crucial role in sustaining both their families and the local economy. These resilient traders, many of whom are widows and wives of struggling breadwinners, make up before dawn to set up their stalls across the city and have access. Among them is Hajara Adamu, known as Mama Nahu, who jungles her business while caring for her husband who suffers from a stroke, and their 9 children through her threat. She managed to provide for their shelter, food, and school fees. Like many other women in the market, she faces the daily challenges of fluctuating prices and unpredictable earnings, but remains determined to support her family. The market women work long hours, with some closing as early as mid-morning, while others stay until the afternoon to maximize their sales. Despite the struggle, they receive support from the men in their trades. Alhaji Sani Wuya, chairman of the Gombe State Tomato and Pepper Association, highlight the association's effort to assist women, often providing them with produce to help them establish themselves in the business. Many of these women have professed significantly using their earnings to acquire land, build homes, and invest in additional sources of income, such as purchasing tricycles for transportation. Their success stories reflect the strength and preservation of Gombe market women who continue to balance business and family responsibilities. As Some TV continues to highlight grassroots stories, it is evident that these women are more than just traders. They are key contributors to their household and the economy. Their resilience, combined with community support, reinforces the belief that those who cultivate their hands will always have something to harvest. Some TV correspondent files in the report.
Heart of Gombe City, amidst the vibrant hustle of the market, resilient women vendors work tirelessly to sustain their families. From selling fresh tomatoes and pepper to essential onion, these women defy the odds every day, shaping the backbone of the local economy. Behind every basket of produce lies a story of perseverance, determination, and hope. Today, on Some TV, we turn the spotlight on these hardworking market women, the silent pillars of their household, whose dedication ensures food reaches countless homes. Meet Hajara Adamu, a vendor at Gombe City's tomato and pepper market.
My name is Hajara Adamu, popularly known as Mama Nana. God has blessed our business. It is very good and lucrative. We have a strong relationship with our male counterparts. Most of the women here are widows or divorcees, while some of us are married. However, life is so difficult that it has become hard for our husbands to fend for the family alone. So we engage in this business to support them.
As a wife and mother, caring for her sick husband, Mama Nana added,
I have 9 children and my husband is suffering from a stroke. Through this business, we manage to pay for shelter, food, and school fees for our children.
On the challenges they face in the business and how much they take home daily, she explained.
One of our biggest challenges is the high cost of produce, which makes customers complain bitterly. We cannot predict our daily earnings, but at least we manage to eat in the morning and evening and take care of some family needs.
Regarding how they balance work and family responsibilities, she revealed,
We come to the market as early as 6 a.m. Some of us close by 10 a.m., while others stay till 2 p.m.
women are strong and determined, but in every aspect of life in Africa, they need men's guidance, protection, and support. In Gombe's tomato and pepper market, the men stand firm in backing their female counterparts. Alhaji Sani Waya, chairman of the Gombe State Tomato and Pepper Association, affirmed the association's commitment to supporting women in the trade. My name is Alhaji Sani Waya, chairman of the Tomato and Pepper Association, Gombe State. We have a very good relationship with our female counterparts in this business because every woman you see here is striving to fend for her family. Some of them are widows, while others have husbands struggling financially due to life's challenges. Any woman with good intention to join this business, we support her by giving her produce, and by God's willing, she will make her own profit. Whether the women are succeeding in the business or not, the chairman had this to say. Many women who started in this trade with little capital have now bought plots of lands and built houses. Some have purchased tricycles, taken a pay to further support their families. Many of them operate with the full consent of their husbands, and some are even brought to the market by their husband in the morning. As Some TV continues to highlight grassroots stories, it is evident that Gombe's market women are not just traders, but key players in sustaining households and strengthening the local economy. Their resilience, coupled with the support from the men in their community, ensures that the hands that cultivate the land will always have something to harvest.
Report making the round has it that the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has joined TikTok, urging supporters to follow his official account. Announcing this on X, he wrote, "This is my official and only TikTok page. Kindly join me in building a new Nigeria that is possible." Obi moves follows former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai's TikTok dispute last week, where he gained over 200,000 followers in 24 hours. El-Rufai stated his page would focus on politics and the Special Democratic Party, SDP. Both politicians are leveraging the platform to engage with Nigerians, signaling a growing trend of political figure embracing social media for outreach. The House of Representatives has launched an investigation into the non-remittance of the 5% user charge meant for federal road maintenance. The probe initiative by Frederick Agbedi, PDP Bayelsa, aims to track funds owed to the Federal Road Maintenance Agency and hold responsible officials accountable. Agbedi noted that despite legal provisions mandating the charge, the defunct Petroleum Product Pricing Regulatory Agency failed to rent funds. Acting Road Infrastructure, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, which replaced PPPRA, has yet to enforce the charge, raising concerns over the neglect of road maintenance funding. Similarly, the House of Representatives has initiated an investigation into allegations that the Standards Organizations of Nigeria, SON, reversed its decision to shut down 18 companies involved in producing and distributing substandard building materials, particularly iron rods. Billy Osawaru, APC Edo, who raised the motion, emphasized the urgent need for SON to enforce quality standards and eliminate fake products. He cited data from the Building Collapse Prevention Guild, which recorded 47 building collapses in 2024, with Lagos State accounting for over half of the incidents. Concerns have been raised over the roles of the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investigations in allegedly influencing SON's decision. Undermining regulatory enforcement, lawmakers are pressing for striker oversight to curb the use of substandard materials, which continue to contribute to deadly building collapse nationwide. The Economic Community of West Africa State has sounded the alarm over an impending food crisis that could affect 47 million people in the region between June and August 2025 if immediate measures are not taken. Presently, an estimated 34.7 million people are already in urgent need of food and nutrition assistance. ECOWAS Commissioner for Economic Affairs and Agriculture, Mrs. Masanje Torre Lise, raised this concern during the third meeting of the Management Committee of the Regional Food Security Reserve. Speaking through Mr. Mohammed Zongo, Acting Executive Director of the Regional Agency for Agricultural and Food, she stressed the importance of enhancing emergency response mechanism while also building long-term resilience to food insecurity. She noted that food and nutrition security in West Africa and the Sahel has significantly deteriorated in recent years, with acute malnutrition rates in several areas, ranging between 10% and 14%. Factors such as climate change, conflict, economic instability, and weak agricultural productivity have contributed to the worsening crisis, highlighting the urgency of coordinated regional actions to prevent a full-scale humanitarian disaster. Governor Alex Otti of Abia State has signed the Abia State Electricity Bill into law, paving the way for enhanced energy regulation, investment security, and power expansion in the state. The legislative, which originated from the executive, received swift passage by the Abia House of Assembly before being signed in Mvoze, Isiola, Ngwe South local government area. Otti highlighted that the law safeguards investment in Aba Power while quenching the government's regulatory authority. It also incorporates experts' input from 15 international power specialists and legal infringements by Banvo and Iboda, a top Nigerian law firm. The government emphasized Abia's unique ring-fence power system covering the local government areas with Aba Power Limited as an independent integrated power provider. Plans are on the way to integrate the remaining 8 local governments in a new Umuahia ring-fence ensuring. The law prioritized renewable energy, investors' protection, and local capacity development. It also aligned with the Electricity Act 2023, allowing Abia to stabilize its own regulatory framework through the Abia State Electricity Regulatory Authority, which will oversee the electricity market and attract investments. Speaker of the House, Emmanuel Eneruwa, and Commissioner for Power, Ikechukwu, Monday held the legislative as a milestone in strengthening Abia's power infrastructure and positioning the state as hope for private sector-driven energy developments. Nigerian's Minister for Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utser, has called for urgent action to tackle Africa's water security and sanitation challenges. Citing slow progress towards the African Water Vision 2025, speaking at the AMCOW West Africa Sub-Regional Meeting in Abuja, OTSEF, represented by Permanent Secretary Richard Filangwa, highlighted inadequate finances as a major obstacle, with heavy reliance on official development assistance. He noted that 800 million Africans lack safe sanitation, while over 400 million lack access to clean drinking water. The minister warned that population growth and climate change could further strengthen resource and emphasize the need for innovating financial strategies. He reaffirms Nigerians' commitment to strengthening water security, sanitation, and food security with plans for a national washed policy. AMCW Executive Secretary Dr. Rashid Maziru stressed the need for increased investment as the continent renew progress on its water goal. The meeting provides a platform for West Africa to define its regional promises for a post-2025 African water vision aligned with the U.S. agenda in 2063. The Kogi State Vigilante Service has arrested 2 suspected cattle rustlers, Suleiman Isa and Sulaila, and handed them over to the police for further investigations. KSVS spokesperson S.O. Saka states that Isa was apprehended on Sunday at the Dakina Omala border in Omela local government area During interrogations, he identified Sumaila, his alleged accomplice and boss, who was later arrested in Ayigba. Both suspects, along with recovered exhibits, were transferred to the Nigerian Police Omola Division for further legal action. The KSVS commended local economy support for reaffirmed its commitment to combating crime in the state. The Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has revoked the land title of the People Democratic Party new National Secretariat in Abuja, citing the party's failure to pay ground rent for 2 decades, according to a letter dated March 13th from the FCT's Director of Land Administration, Chijoke Mwasuke. The PDP had defaulted on its annual ground rent payment from January 1st, 2006 to January 1st, 2025, despite multiple notices published in national newspapers and electric media urging property owners in the FCT to clear outstanding bills. The party fails to comply, involving the power vested in him by the Land Use Act. Wike ordered the revocation of PDP rights, interest, and privilege over plots number 243 in the Central Area Co-Central Zone, AOO. The letter further stated that the property has now reverted to the Federal Capital Territory Administrations, which will take immediate possession. This development comes amidst Wike's broader efforts to enforce compliance with land regulations in Abuja, which have led to the relocation of thousands of titles due to non-payment of fees. Chief Sonny Onyeko, a chieftain of the People Democratic Party and former Delta State gubernatorial, will be going on a commercial break. Please don't go away.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559.
I told you there's a cab service you can book right now in Jalingo. Sounds like a dream, right? No, it's reality. Let Supercab get you transported to anywhere you want to go in Jalingo, and let them also run your errands for you while you sit at the comfort of your home. And guess what? It is affordable, reliable, and fast. They run a 24-hour service. You can click the link attached to this video to download the app, or you can also download the app on Play Store. I'm so excited for this, and I know you are too. Use Supercab today and be happy. Bye.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Som TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Som TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Som TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient, and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Welcome back. We are glad you are still here with us. Moving forward now in international news. Somali militant targeted President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud motorcade in a bomb attack in Mogadishu on Tuesday. The president was unharmed, according to senior government and military officials. Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack, which occurred near the presidential palace. Witnesses report seeing the bodies of 4 people killed in the assault. The president later appeared in the Adan Yabal district, where government forces are battling at Al-Shabaab offensive. This was the first direct attack on Mahmoud since 2014. Rwanda has severed diplomatic ties with Belgium, ordering all Belgian diplomats to leave the country within 48 hours. The Rwandan Ministry of Foreign Affairs accused Belgium of persistently undermining Kigali amidst the ongoing conflicts in the Democratic Republic of Congo. In response, Belgium declared Rwanda diplomat persona non grata with Foreign Minister Maxime Provert, calling Rwanda's move appropriate and indicative of Kigali's reluctance to engage in dialogue. The diplomatic fallout follows Rwanda President Paul Kame's accusations that Belgium was pushing for international sanctions against Rwanda over its alleged role in the DRC conflicts. The UN has reports that Rwanda controls the 23M rebel group and has deployed 4,000 troops in eastern DRC. Claims Kigali denies. Meanwhile, the Congo's government estimated that at least 7,000 people have died in the ongoing violence and has urged international intervention. The tensions come as both the DRC government and M23 rebel prepares for peace talk in Angola, raising uncertainty over the prospects for a diplomatic resolution to the crisis. Poland and the Baltic states have announced plans to withdraw from the Ottawa Convention, which bans the use of landmines, citing growing security threats from Russia in a joint statement. The defense minister of Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia said the regional security situation has deteriorated since the treaty ratification in 1999. The minister emphasized that while their country remains committed to international humanitarian law, they must be prepared to defend their terrorists. Attorney Defense Minister Hona Penku stated there are no immediate plans to stockpile or deploy land miles. The decision follows heightened tension in Eastern Europe amidst concern over Russia's military action. Rwanda has severed diplomatic ties with Belgium, ordering all Belgians to leave the country. In business news, report has it that Nigeria's oil sector is facing challenges as 12 March loading crude cargoes remains unsold. Reflecting weak demands for the country's export, traders report that buyers are still being sought, while April shipments also remain unavailable. Nigerian crude is struggling against cheaper alternatives such as Gazaten CPC blends, US WTI, and Mediterranean sweet crudes, particularly in Europe, where refinery maintenance season is about to begin. The oversupply of lower-price alternative has put pressure on Nigerian crude values, affecting Africa's largest producer. Meanwhile, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company is negotiating an extension of its crude supply deal with the Dangote refinery, which has been receiving 300,000 barrels per day in Naira payments since October 2024. While the agreement has helped stabilize the Naira and curb inflation, concern remains over sustainability. Market sources individualize the Naira and curb inflations. NNPC is balancing its commitment, including long-term supply deals extending to 2030, which could limit crude availability for domestic refiners. Dangote is also preparing to increase foreign crude imports with new storage facilities under construction. Report has it that as Nigeria grapples with weak exports and evolving domestic supply strategies, the outcome of NNPC's negotiations and the implementation of domestic crude supply obligations will shape the oil sector trajectory in the coming months. In sport news, the Anambra State chapter of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, in collaboration with the State Police Command, has finalized plans to organize a series of sports competitions involving markets and other stakeholders across the state. State Commissioner of Police Dr. Ikoyi Orutugu disclosed this during a meeting with SWAN members, emphasizing that the initiative aimed to strengthen relations between law enforcement and the public, fostering trust, community development, and social cohesion. He noted that the competition could also create an engaging platform for improving communication between the police and residents. Discussions are on the way to finalize participant sections, competition teams, and logistical arrangements. Orutugu highlighted that the program will reinforce the role of sports in building bridge between law enforcement agencies and communities while supporting efforts to combat violent crime in the state. SWAN Chairman Chimeze Anaso commended the initiative, expressing confidence that the collaboration will enhance the police command's engagement with the public and contribute to achieving its security objectives. That's all for this edition of News at 9 p.m. from SOM TV. Before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. Tinubu declares state of emergency in Rivers, suspend governor and lawmakers. Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi officially joined TikTok and urged supporters to follow his verified account. ECOWAS has raised concern over a potential food crisis that could impact 47 million people in West Africa between June and August 2025 if urgent measures are not taken. In international news, Rwanda has severe diplomatic ties with Belgium, giving Belgians diplomatic to depart from within 48 hours to leave the country. And in sports, the Anambra State chapter of SWAN is collaborating with the State Police Command, set to organize a series of sports competition involving market and key stakeholders across the state. You can follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. I remain Bridget James. Thank you for watching and good night.